First up, we have Fall of Green Arrow, the Rise and Fall. Justice League kind of overheading type deal. Getting to this position with James Robinson and his Cry for Justice stuff was obviously, I rated it poorly, I'm not going to lie. I understand a little bit better after going to Emerald City Comic Con, listening to things. It almost sounded like it was a DC edict to kind of get James Robinson's stuff to end the way it did. And you kind of got the vibe it was all positioning for a greater and better Star City and Green Arrow in general. I love this cover. I think that is a gorgeous cover. Just really excellently done. It was number 3 at Burpee's Got You Covered this last week here at Multiversity Comics on my top covers of the week. Just an excellent cover. A great issue. I really enjoyed it. I really am excited to see, to see where this is all going, and how we'll get there to the end. James Robinson, DC, made a big point of stating that it's all to get to a certain point, everything that's happened so far, and that Star City is going to be a great city again, and Green Arrow is going to be in a whole new position, as well as Arsenal, and I love Arsenal, and I love Green Arrow, and I'm so stoked that he's no more Red Arrow, he's back to Arsenal. Arsenal's such a better persona for him. That's just my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyway, so good issue. I'm really stoked for the Rise of Arsenal that comes out this week. First issue of 4. Just great stuff. If it can live up to what JT Kroll's done here on Green Arrow 31, that'll be really cool. If you're leery of checking this title out because of Cry for Justice, or even honestly the Fall and Rise of Justice one-shot that came out that led into this, this is much better quality than those, I promise you. I know Prometheus died 3 separate ways in that title, and a 4th if you count the main Cry for Justice thing. But this sets you on a good pace. It starts out fresh. It tells you everything you need to know up front and in 2 pages, and then bam, bing, boom, you're on your fucking way. So I would definitely highly recommend that. It's a great issue. Well, let's take that back. We're laying on the cheese a bit here. It's not a great issue. It's a good issue, okay? And it's a good foundation for where we're going. It's going to take a little bit of trust rebuilding, I think, after what happened, no matter whose fault it was, James Robinson's, DC's, whoever's idea that was. It didn't turn out well in the final product. But this is a good start on getting Green Arrow back to where he needs to be. All right. Next up, we have the X-23 one-shot. I really like this. You got to see Kitten and a bunch of Laura's friends when she was living on the streets, and Hoenn. And Hoenn, that little clone Wolverine self of hers. So, really good issue. The art style changes a bit throughout, which is really cool. Let's see, who's the art? Andrade, Felipe Andrade, and Nuno Alves. Really cool. It goes from being something like this at times to cutting over into things like this. So the art shift is really cool, and it fits perfectly well for the title and really advances the story in a natural, fluid way, but yet still gives you kind of a different vibe throughout. Which is impressive, because sometimes, you shift the art style, and it's a real jolting experience for the reader, and it kind of takes you out of the story. This really enhances it. So, and Marjorie Liu also did NYX, where you can find Kitten and the other kind of runaway mutant kids, or whatever. And Marjorie Liu seems to have a really good grasp on the character. She's also doing the Daken stuff. Over in Dark Wolverine, I don't care what nobody says. I like Daken. I like Daken a lot. A lot. I've actually really enjoyed it. I've actually liked it better in Wolverine Origins, that's for sure. Anybody? Anybody? Any takers? No? Okay. We're so serious. So, we need more beer. Okay. Next up, we've got Doom War number 2. Atrocious cover. Absolutely atrocious cover. Very disappointing JR, Mr. John Romita Jr. But when you get inside, you got Scott Eaton art. Beautiful stuff. And you've got a story by Mayberry. It is a really good story. It's one of the best X titles out there right now without the X in it. Go figure. Just the representation of the characters is excellent. Issue 1 was fantastic. It was a surprise to me. I almost didn't pick it up. Got it last second. Just figured, you know, what the fuck? Let's give it a try. Was very happy I did so. Issue 2 continues to make me happy that I picked it up. So, there's that. So, if you're looking at the cover and you're like, oh, that's some ugly shit, go ahead and get past that. It's true, it is. But the interiors are gorgeous. The story is fun and engaging. I'd recommend it. Alright. Let's see. We got Nation X number 4 of 4. Look at that, suckers! Of Dupe on the cover. Dupe! Great cover for me. I love this because you've got Dupe, you've got Warpath, you've got New X-Men, and you got fucking Ice Cream! What an amazing combo! And you got Mike Allred in here. Just really good stuff. If I have one complaint here, it's that the Nation X series in general has been a series where 2 issues are good, 2 issues aren't so good. That's kind of how I felt throughout the whole series. I really liked the Ice Cream portion of this with Warpath. Basically, the characters on this cover here, if they're in the story, it was a good story. Outside of that, not so much. Didn't enjoy it. But the Dupe story and Mike Allred and Peter Milligan's return to, you know, an Ecstatics character, which I was so stoked for. My one complaint is that the Dupe speech did not match the Dupe translator. I mean, huge fanboy moment right here. I know I'm just like, who cares? Shut up, nerd. Fuck off. I am a nerd, alright? I do podcasts and video casts and drink and do this. And so, I mean, obviously, nerds. If you're watching this, you're a nerd too, so you can't complain. Don't complain that I'm a nerd, because we're all nerds. Because if you're watching the nerd and being nerdy, while watching the nerd be nerdy, who's nerdiest? Conundrum. Is. So, the Dupe speech thing really threw me off. I sat there with my translator on my laptop, and I was just like, what? No, oh, this doesn't make any sense. I must be reading this wrong. Oh my god, it just doesn't work at all! And then my head just fucking blew up. It was terrible. My wife had to piece my head back together, and I came back stupider than before. Yeah, but luckily, beer still tastes awesome. So that was a huge disappointment for me. I'm not gonna lie. I was really amped up for that issue, and I kind of was like, drop back out. But having said that, to get a Mike Allred, Peter Milligan, Ecstatic story, granted it wasn't full on Ecstatics, it was just Dupe, but to get them on any of those characters was a treat. To have the Dupe speech, not necessarily a line. You know, I'll sacrifice that for a great story with 2 great characters. Yeah, but I can do stuff like a do, look at you. See, that made more sense than what I was just saying, didn't it? Thought so. It's always a treat to have 2 great creators on great characters that they made shine. Yeah, that made more sense than and 2 creators. So, yeah, I was stoked.